What made it enjoyable is the people here, like the teachers, they make things more understandable, and the kids here, they're actually fun.
Without learning how to read nonverbal cues and facial gestures. Because it has changed the way children learn. Stay connected with their classmates as well as former
The topic for today will be
Good afternoon. My name is Jamila Taylor, and I am in the 7th grade. I affirm that children should have their own social media account. My arguments are as follows. Argument 1. If children have their own social media account, they can communicate with family and friends. Children are able to communicate with family and friends from far away. Social media is about conversations, community, connecting with others, and building relationships. It also helps children keep long-lasting friendships with others by staying in touch with them online even when they can't see them in person. It matters because social media makes it possible for children to stay connected with family and friends. It is a way to reach out to others when feeling lonely or bored. Argument 2. If kids have their own social media account, they are able to express themselves. I believe that social media allows children to express themselves creatively and interact with more people. It allows sharing with others who have the same interests. It helps people feel more comfortable and easier to talk to people in person after interacting with them on social media. It matters because a lot of children feel more comfortable expressing themselves online than public speaking. It helps those who are shy and other people on social media help them feel more relaxed. Argument 3. Children should have their own social media account because it has changed the way children learn. Social media introduces new topics and interests. Social media helps children develop social and emotional skills. It has introduced a more peer-based learning, where children are motivated to learn from each other. It matters because social media helps children get necessary technical skills they will need in the future. It allows them to compete in a digital age. Social media helps children get ready for the real world. In conclusion, I affirm that children should have their own social media account because they use it to communicate with friends and family. It also helps kids express themselves. Social media has changed the way children learn. Vote affirm.
It made me a better person for comprehending and talking more and answering a lot of more questions. Good afternoon. I am Callie Harrison, and I'm going to the 7th grade. I affirm that kids should have their own social media account. My arguments are as follows. Argument 1. I believe children should have a social media account at a young age because it helps them to maintain friendships. Young age children can share their interests, explore, and so much more. Social media is a part of young children's lives. This allows them to get to know others online from far away, even when they can't meet each other in person. It matters that children should have a social media account because they have the benefits of face-to-face interactions online while they're in a safe and comfortable environment. Argument 2. I believe children should have a social media account because it helps to decrease anxiety. Young kids that have social media in an environment for starting new relationships help to eliminate anxiety while creating social connections. Children may feel less anxious when they are online instead of in person. This matters because it gives kids the chance to open up over the internet. giving them a boost of confidence. Social media can improve their moods as well as help them to show more concern. Argument 3. I believe children should have their own social media account because it helps build self-belief and confidence. Children feel welcome on social media. They become more concerned for others. They even feel like they have to protect their friends and share stuff with them. This makes the children confident and believe that what they say and do matters. It matters because it brings about a deeper appreciation. Social media allows children to express how they feel by liking or commenting pictures, videos, or status updates posted by their friends. We all need more warm fuzzies. In conclusion, I affirm that children should have their own social media account because it helps them maintain friendships, it helps them to decrease anxiety, and it helps children build self-belief and confidence. Vote affirm.
Yes, it made me stronger because I really don't like talking in front of everybody because it like make my voice go down, but they taught me to speak at a level 4. And now I can speak in front of people without any consequences. I affirm that I'm for kids having their own social media account. My argument as follows. Argument 1. Children should have their own social media account to have fun. It allows children to make and keep friends by sharing with others who like the same things. Children can play games, watch videos, look at pictures, react to comments on posts by friends and family. It matters because kids like to have fun and should be able to have fun sometimes. Social media is a fun way to connect with more friends to have fun together even when you can't be together in real life. Argument 2. Social media can help kids have more friends. Social media is a big part of many children's lives. It is often a key part of how they connect with friends. Children can get to meet more friends with more people. It is a good way to make and build friendly relationships with children who live far away. It matters because children need to know and be friends with more people in the world instead of fighting. Children can meet more people in the world before it ends. Argument 3. Children should have a social media account to learn in another way. Having a social media account has changed the way kids learn. It is a way to help kids learn from each other. Students can form study groups and easily share ideas and learning materials using technology. It matters because children are more interested in learning when using technology and helping each other. Technology is a big part of life and now in the future. In conclusion, I affirm that I'm for kids having their own social media account. It is a way to have fun. It can help more kids have friends. It is another way to learn. Vote affirm.
A machine that makes water automatically without taking air from trees. Good afternoon. My name is Kiwani Raglan. In next grade and next year, I'm going to the 6th grade. I am against kids having their own social media account. My arguments are as follows. Argument 1. If children had their own social media account, they could be in danger of predators. Children can become targets of stalking by predatory people who intend to cause harm. I did research and it said that pedophiles find kids' information on social media. It is their first choice of information. This matters because some pedophiles kidnap and bring great harm to kids. Those kids will have great trauma in their lives. Argument 2. If kids have their own social media account, they are at risk of cyberbullying. Bullying gets easier on social media by threatening messages or posts with offensive content directed at a certain person. Cyberbullies torment kids to feed their happiness on social media and/or on games. Cyberbullying can occur at any time and keep going on by unnamed people. It matters because of the emotional, mental, physical, and behavioral effects it has on children. Children can go into a very deep depression, have anger and isolation problems, feel ashamed and insecure. This can make them sick physically. Children shouldn't have their own social media account because it can cause social anxiety. One finding suggests that children spending more than 3 hours a day on social media are twice as likely to suffer from poor mental health. The more they use it, the more they feel dissatisfied with their lives because of them comparing themselves to others cyberbullying and/or not having enough person-to-person interactions. It matters because some children become depressed, anxious, moody, and have low self-esteem, or it makes them more self-centered. Children who interact mostly with social media may turn out not caring about others and become poor at communicating by talking and/or not talking in person. In conclusion, I negate that I am against kids having their own social media account because they could be in danger of predators, they could be at risk for cyberbullying, and social media can cause social anxiety. Vote negate.
We're actually cousins.
Yeah, me and her cousins.
We've been getting close a lot. You know.
We've been getting close a lot. This debate, it just brought us closer to like make sure we like prepare and stuff and like make sure we're ready to take on the team, and it looks like it paid off. Hi, good afternoon to you all. My name is Joshua Davis and I'm going to the 8th grade. I negate that children should have their own social media account. My arguments are as follows. Argument 1. If children was on social media, they could be exposed to inappropriate and sexual content. 172 social media influencers was analyzed over the time of 4 months, and studies found a continuum of highly inappropriate self-representation by these social media influencers. They use their inappropriate and sexual content to grab kids' attention and use their views to get monetized and sell products. It matters because a child can be mentally affected or desensitized by so much sexual and inappropriate content. Argument 2. Another reason that children shouldn't have their own social media account is because of the many social media scams. Oftentimes, there are posts on social media claiming to give out free gift cards. This is the free gift card scam. It plays on people for free. It plays on people's desire for free money, and a kid can easily fall for the trick. The reason why it matters is because it could play a lot of mind games and tricks on a kid. Kids will most likely give their personal info away and be at risk by hackers and cyber terrorists. My argument 3. My last reason for children not having social media is because of cyberbullying. A survey of more than 6,000 10 to 18-year-olds from June to August last year found out that about 50% of them has had at least one kind of cyberbullying in their life. Students who experience cyberbullying are nearly 2 times more likely to attempt suicide. Suicide attempts by adolescents have doubled since 2008. This matters because children can potentially harm or kill themselves by social media and what people say on social media. In conclusion, I negate that children should have their own social media account. They could be exposed to sexual content, they could get scammed by hackers, and it could also be cyberbullying on social media. Vote negate. Good afternoon. My name is Zenovia Davis, and I'm going to the 8th grade. I negate that children shouldn't have their own social media account. My arguments as follows. Argument 1. Kids shouldn't have their own social media account because it replaces real-life relationships. Social media replaces learning social skills of dealing face-to-face with peers. They grow up without learning how to read nonverbal cues and facial gestures of people. They will lack skills needed to understand other people's moods and emotions. This is a skill that children need to practice to be successful in real life. This matters because social media can cause children to lose connection with family and friends. Instead, they view friends as their foundation and support. Argument 2. Kids shouldn't have their own social media account because it can have a negative effect on their mental health. Daily overuse of media and technology has a negative effect on the mental health of children and preteens. This makes them more prone to anxiety, depression, and other disorders. Between 2009 and 2017, rates of depression among kids 14 to 17 increased more than 60%. The suicide rates have increased since 2020. It matters because when children spend more than 3 hours per day on social media, it puts them at a higher risk for mental health problems. 13% of kids ages 12 through 17 report depression, and 32 report anxiety. Argument 3. Kids shouldn't have their own social media account because it can become addictive. Constantly checking the news feed of the different social media sites become an addicting habit. In a study by researchers at the UCLA Brain Mapping Center, they found that certain parts of the brain became active by likes on social media, causing users to want to use social media more. It matters because children shouldn't be dependent on the number of likes they get. Instead of focus on superficial love, a kid should focus on their own self-worth, which is a lot more than a like on Instagram. In conclusion, I negate that children shouldn't have their own social media account. It replaces real-life relationships. It can have a negative effect on their mental health, and it can become addictive. Vote negate.
Good afternoon. My name is Javad Williamson, and I am going to the 7th grade. I am affirmed that children should have their own social media account. My arguments are as follows. Kids should have their own social media accounts because it allows them to participate in this digital age. Spending time online is important for children to pick up technical skills that they will need to have through the future. Children who learn to use social media are really learning the social skills for our age group as well as in the future. It matters because kids need technical skills for the future, and social media is going to be helping kids practice for the future. Argument 2. Kids should have their own social media account because it helps with the way kids learn. Social media promotes self-direct learning, which prepares students to search for answers and make their own decisions. It can produce better learning outcome and critical thinking skills. It is a tool that allows communication between students, teachers, and parents who can check in and ask or respond to questions. It matters because it is an easy and convenient way to communicate with others, get information, and share information while using social media. More people, teachers, tutors, and students can be connected to each other and make learning and/or teaching better. Argument 3. Kids should have their own social media account because it helps kids with long-term friendships. Kids can stay connected with their classmates as well as former classmates, teammates, peers they met at camp and activity clubs. Social media offers a way for children to connect with others who share similar interests. It matters because kids keep long-term friendships with others by staying in touch with them online, even when they can no longer meet each other in person. In conclusion, I affirm that children should have their own social media account, because it allows them to compete in this digital age. It also helps with the way that kids learn and can help kids with long-term friendships. Vote affirm.
Good afternoon. My name is Anaje Mehta, and I'm going to the 6th grade. I negate that children should not have their own social media accounts. My arguments are as follows. Argument 1. If kids have their own social media accounts, it will most likely cause issues with schoolwork and grades. Studies show that children who regularly use social networks tend to have lower scores in math, reading, both and science, than students who never or hardly use these sites. Students often find themselves updating their feed when they should be studying. It matters because being on social media can become addictive. Children end up spending hours each day watching videos, photos, and other content posted in accounts that they follow. They end up wasting a lot of time every day, resulting in poor grades in school. It also disrupts them from other important activities. Argument 2. Your kids can be exposed to trends. Some examples of these trends are the Bird Box Challenge, the 48-hour missing challenge, and more. One of the dangerous challenges I will be talking about is the fire challenge. According to studies, this is one trend that could cost someone their life. This requires the person to cover themselves in gasoline or nail polish remover, then setting themselves on fire while filming a video. After a 12-year-old girl suffered second and third-degree burns to her body and was placed in critical condition, YouTube later released a statement warning others not to attempt it. This matters because the person doing the challenge can end up dying or in the hospital. Argument 3. Your kids can also share too much information. Like it or not, if a kid under 13 uses a social media site, they will also be tempted to share things that are really not for the world to see. Also, little kids might take photos of your ID or credit card and share them. Even if they just take a picture or share their location, this easily shows where they are. This matters because it can get stalkers, kidnappers, and shady characters' attention and put your kid in danger. In conclusion, I negate that kids should not have social media because it can cause lack of rest, it can expose kids to trends, and your kid might share too much information. Vote negate.
This was new for me. So basically, it took me out of my comfort zone. Joshua, a lot of days I would tell him, and I told the students, a lot of them were just so afraid to do this debate. And I was like, even I told Miss Chichi, I said, shoot, I'm nervous myself. I don't like to get up in front of people and, and talk. I can do it, but actually, like I told one of the little girls, she is shy. I told her, I said, Miss Angela's shy too. But I said, since we have to do it, get up there and do it to the best of your ability. So yeah, it has taken me out of my comfort zone, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
We liked how you structured your arguments, and more importantly, we liked how you gave evidence, okay? And some of you gave more evidence than others, and that kind of separated you guys, right? Kind of separated you guys a little. And also, I liked how you guys were enthusiastic and you were resolute. You were resolute about your argument. Listening to you guys, in my head, I said, wow, we have some future lawyers. But one of the things that that kind of separated the two groups, and we concurred about this, is the way that you delivered your evidence. And what we liked, what stood out for us, particularly with the negative team, is that you used data to support your argument. Okay, you use statistics. Okay, and anytime that you're trying to make a convincing argument, you have to have sound data. And I think we concur. What we liked about both teams, is just first of all, the dignity that you gave each other, right? This was done in a dignified way, right? You guys, you amazed me. And I commend you. So with all of that being said, we congratulate both teams, but the team that stood out for us and the team that we have identified as the winning team is the negative team.
I commend each and every one of you, because it takes a lot to stand in front of some peers, to stand in front of people that you don't know, strangers, and stand in front of a camera. So again, everyone, clap.
What I got out of this camp is they taught me education and mentally. They taught me how to deal with my mental emotions and make sure I'm calmed down. And they just taught me how to do that. And they taught me financially how to handle write checks, to see what type of bills I'm gonna have if I choose my career path. Yeah, basically this camp just prepares you for life. It's talk financial literacy, dealing with bills, science, talk about if you want to go down the science path, if you can. It's just reading helps you out. It's it gives you understanding about literature, and we just go on field trips, have fun. If we do right, it's just a really good experience to be at this camp with these counselors to help us out and stuff.
Were you guys surprised at what the activities that you were going to be involved in?
Yeah, I did not know that they had this in store for us. It was really surprising because half of the places we went on the field trips, I've never been myself.
Like what?
Go-karting, the NASCAR, the Transportation Museum. It was all a fun experience just to learn and see how cars was back in the day, and how NASCAR, to see how steep the hills was, and go-karting, it was just there for enjoyment. Just seeing the smile on other people's faces, it really helped. Yeah, really just going to the field trips and going on all these trips, during this whole summer, I've done more things I've done over 3 years before. For real, in just 6 weeks, I've done more stuff than I have in 4 years. It's basically a blessing. I've never done any of this stuff, and I really want to shout out to Mr. Earl and the camp counselors for helping us, because Mr. Earl really made this happen for us to enjoy a good summer, since, COVID hit us really hard and we wouldn't have anything to do this summer, honestly. Yes, and Victory Lane Go-Kart, do not forget that name. Them go-karts are no joke. Yes. Mess with them go-karts if you want to. You gonna spin out. Yes. I promise you. And the NASCAR place, it was just so fun to see where they race and, see where they take a picture with their cars after they win a race. Just seeing the building and seeing all of that just made a good impact on our lives. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It really helps. It actually helps our mind mentally, and it's going to prepare us for a good year at school. It's going to prepare us for the real world, whatever career path you choose. It shows you, this camp shows you that you could do it. Be anything, do anything you want. Don't let nobody try to tell you that you can't.
The reading here, like Zenovia and Josh said, the Port Chicago 50, that really helps you learn more about the segregation and like what was going on in the Army back then, because some of the stuff that's in that book shouldn't have been going on. I have people that put me down sometimes, and it actually puts me down. Being here, it has increased my self-esteem, because there's people here that, like, when you were about to get up there, people would be like, you got this, or you can do this. Take a deep breath when you get up there. And that kind of made me feel a lot better. And then there's other people here that would like talk smack about you, but then they'll at least they'll apologize, or there'll be someone that lifts you up every day. Like they'll say maybe that you helped them a lot, or that you're someone that they look up to.
To say that I'm like sort of living vicariously through them. I say that because when I was their age, I was the kid who would always like spend my summers in the house, basically doing nothing. So seeing that these kids are like going out doing all these field trips, it's just like some of the kids had said that they've never been to these places before, and I'm those kids. I've never been to some of these places that Mr. Earl takes them to. So it's interesting being the age I am, being like this is my paid job, but sometimes it doesn't even feel like a job. Sometimes like I'm having fun with the kids. Yeah, we're teaching your kids like real life skills that they're going to need, as well as making it fun for your kids. So I think that's a pretty good sell. Doing all the things that Mr. Earl does and this campus free, it doesn't even sound like it's true. It sounds like a dream. So for him to put that in reality is amazing to me.
This summer was planes, trains, and automobiles. Next summer is going to be medical. So we'll do different things and different aspects of medical. We're going to probably get some 3D printers, and they're going to learn how to program a 3D printer to make an artificial heart or to make an artificial lungs and understand the respiratory and cardio system. They're going to also learn how to program drones so that if you needed to deliver organs from one part of the United States to the other, you don't have to wait on an airplane to get it there. You can take a drone and fly it from one part, program a drone to fly from one hospital to another to expedite getting that organ while still viable to be used. I've gone 6 weeks with a group of kids, 25, 30 kids, last 2 years ago, 35 kids that have had 6 weeks of experiences they had never experienced before, 6 weeks of excitement and stimulation that they never felt before, and they were safe, they learned, they gained intellectually, they gained physically, and they gained emotionally from spending 6 weeks with me and within this program. The name of the program, the name of the organization is Alluvium. The name of the program is Succeed, successfully utilizing education and employment to develop and empower. And that's what we're trying to do, make certain that these kids succeed.